The opinions expressed in this show are the views of the host and not necessarily that of WTRW, 94.3 The Talker, or the Bold Gold Media Group.
The following presentation is paid for by Century 21 Jack Ruddy Real Estate, who is solely responsible for its content. Portions transcribed.
All Century 21 real estate offices are independently owned and operated.
Hi, I'm Jackie Ruddy, broker, Century 21 Jack Ruddy Real Estate. Welcome to the Real Estate Roundtable on 94.3 FM The Talker. I'm here with my husband, co-host, Bell Realtor, Pat Devaney.
Good morning,
Don't
Jack.
ask.
Good morning, Jackie.
No, Billy Griffiths doesn't like it when you ask.
How are you?
Yes.
How you doing?
How are you doing? We do come in separate vehicles.
Yes, we do. We come separate ways.
And we barely see each other in the morning because we go in two different directions. I'm fantastic. How are you?
Very good, thank you.
We have with us for the first time ever Frankie Rudis, founder, CEO, and owner of Rudis Enterprises. Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
Thanks for being here with us. We're here every Saturday at 11 a.m., Sunday at 11:30 a.m., where we discuss real estate. We have a full-time real estate office with many exceptional realtors. We've been listing, selling, and appraising real estate for 50-plus years.
During the week, feel free to email us with any questions you have at questions@jruddy.com. That's questions@jruddy.com. Or you can give us a call at 570-344-6724. When you go to jruddy.com, click on the webcam tab and see what the weather conditions are at Dunmore Corners.
View our listings, search the MLS listings, and listen to archive radio shows by going to mobile-friendly jruddy.com, jruddy.com. And on the radio tab, we also have all the popular podcast apps that we feature the radio show on, so check that out. And also remember to look us up on social media, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, YouTube, Instagram, and Pinterest. I would like to say a big hello to Franklin Kellogg and his mom, Gloria Kellogg. Gloria is doing business with one of our realtors, but Franklin has been very active on our social media posts and let us know that he loves to listen to our show and he's a big fan. So I just want to say hello to you, Franklin, and to your mom, Gloria. I also want to say that our fabulous realtors, I had 16 that hit $1 million and multi-million dollar club this year, 9 in the multi-million dollar club, and 7 in the $1 million club. And that's the first time ever that 9 hit the multi-million dollar tier. So I want to say a big congratulations and thank our realtors at Century 21 Jack Ruddy for all their hard work. And
you got a great crew. You have a lot of wonderful realtors. It's a great place to work.
Yes, they're very good. They're good people. They're decent, good, kind. They work well together, and we have a fantastic group of realtors at our.
Frank knows one of the realtors.
Yes, Amanda Rudis.
Yes, I do. That's
yes,
great.
Frank Rudis, owner of Rudis Enterprises. Amanda Rudis, yes. Your wife, is one of our exceptional realtors.
She is.
Yes, yep. She is. She's doing very well. So I would like to know about you and your Rudis Enterprises. What do you do? Who are you? How long have you been doing it, please?
All right. Well, we started business about 15 years ago. We primarily focus on residential remodels, basements, additions, kitchen remodel, bathroom remodel, complete home remodel. Like I said, we started about 15 years ago, and we love what we do. We primarily focus on higher end bathrooms and kitchens, and we got a great team of guys, and we just keep moving forward. How
are you doing with the workforce? Are you down? Are you still searching for reliable, good people to work for you?
That could be a whole radio show.
Yeah, right.
No kidding.
But what are the conditions like? Because since COVID and the pandemic hit, people have been really focused on their homes, right?
Yes.
So that's why real estate went berserk.
Right.
Because people realized that their home didn't work in that situation. A lot of people ran out, bought homes, and then a lot of people decided to do remodeling.
Right.
The problem with the remodeling was there was a lot of problems with the remodeling, right?
Yeah.
You couldn't find a contractor, and if you did, you couldn't get the materials.
Right.
And then the labor shortage.
Right.
Okay, so where are we these days?
Since COVID, it's been quite a challenge. Even particularly for us, our crew was double the size pre-COVID. Once COVID hit, whatever people decided to do because of COVID, we lost about 3-4 guys. Some guys decided to go start their own business off, right off the bat. Some guys just decided to, they took COVID serious, so they had to stay home. And that created a lot of challenges for us because when you go from being a certain size and your company's growing, now you have all this work and then the shortage of guys. We had to reevaluate everything. We had to call our clients and things got extended. We had to put jobs off a little longer. Thankfully, everybody understood the situation. Everybody worked with us, and the 4 or 5 guys that I have now are just been completely amazing. Really, some weeks we worked 7 days a week just to help catch up and put that extra time in to get projects done. And then the supply chain issue with certain supply chain companies, things if you were waiting 3 weeks for cabinets, now cabinets are 16, 17 weeks.
Oh my God.
So I literally had to relearn how to rebid jobs after being in business for 12 plus years. We had to step back and go, this is changing everything because the cost of materials shot through the roof.
That's the other thing.
So I was to a point where generally I'd be able, let's use a bathroom for example. I could walk into somebody's house and being in the business after speaking to them and seeing what kind of materials they like could give them a rough idea right on the spot. All right, this bathroom's going to cost you $15,000. Just throwing a number out there. With everything going up with COVID, if I did that, I would have lost my shirt.
Sure.
So we literally had to rebid everything, and things were going up almost 50%. If
right.
not more.
So when you do an estimate, how long is that bid good for? It's because it was such a fluid situation and it was changing every day.
Yeah, I'd say right now that a bid is probably good for at least a month, maybe longer now because things have kind of settled down a little bit. But in that peak of it, yeah, things were constantly changing. OSB plywood at Home Depot went from $13, $14 a sheet all the way up to $55, $60 a sheet.
Insane.
Crazy.
Okay, so we had to do the flat roof at the building.
Right.
At our office. And they would only give me a price estimate. They said this price is only good for
30 days, I think it was.
I think it was less than that. I think it was 2 weeks. I couldn't imagine that.
Yeah.
Usually I would get estimates and they'd be good for 6 months, right? It was insane.
And the price 9 months later went up $10,000.
Right. Because with the way things are fluctuating, you got to think that contractor, if he, committed a price to you and then the material went up, 20, 30%. That's
what was happening.
That's crazy.
Right? So how about the cost of materials now?
A lot has settled down. Things are still up there a little bit, certain items, but overall a lot has balanced out, I would say.
Okay, so what items are still crazy?
I would say custom stuff. We just got from our cabinet provider who we use, they just increased 5%. Some plywoods are a little bit higher than they should be still. Light fixtures, they're up there. Custom lighting, electrical supplies overall, they're up there. It's...
Okay. All right, so... Now we have to worry about, every day it's news hits, inflation, recession, this, that, and the other thing. Is inflation impacting the remodeling projects in addition to all this other stuff that's going on?
I'll be honest. The phone doesn't stop, so it's actually really crazy. When COVID hit, we didn't know what was going to happen. We thought the worst.
So did I.
Same thing with real estate. Yeah, we thought we were out of business.
Yeah, we got nervous. I was like, I didn't know where to go. I was thinking of how to prepare my guys, and it was really challenging. But then, the calls and the estimates didn't stop. Just people kept wanting the work done, and even now, like you said, with inflation up, people still want projects done. So, me personally, it's not, knock on wood, affecting me yet. It's just people still want work done. They're still calling for kitchens, and these aren't small projects. Some of these projects are, I'd say, $30,000 and up.
So how long are you booked out till? If I called you today for a project, you came out and gave me an estimate, when could you start
It
my
would be
job?
based on what kind of project. now,
Okay.
Because how I manage my company is a little different than how other guys manage it. So, like our kitchens right now, we're probably booked out 6 months to a year,
Wow.
depending on the size. Now, if you want a small bathroom remodel, I could look at that and go, depending on how you want it, is it super high end or kind of just, I could squeeze that in between other projects. Because as you guys know, or maybe you don't know, projects have phases. So, once the sheetrocking's done on this project, I could move them, hey, to Jackie's house, so let's start demoing her project. And then while the demo, it's all about managing your crew and your team the right way. But if it's a customized project that's going to take a lot of design, a lot of time, I like to just dedicate myself and my team solely on your project. So that's where I would say, listen, Jackie, we're not going to be able to start till about, 6 months to a year out. And we'd kind of zero that date in as we get a little bit closer and start design plan and, get your ideas and everything you like and go from there.
Does it help if I know somebody? Kidding. That's a joke.
Yeah.
That's a joke. Our house, we don't need anything.
Right.
But so I had to slip that in for just a little humor, Frankie.
Right. No, I got you.
Okay, so tell me this. When you do a project, do you sub out? Do you do everything in that project? If it requires plumbing, electrical, sheetrock, tape, a gut job, flooring,
Generally,
lights?
yes. So another quick background. When I started in the business, I saw when I worked for other people before I started my own business. When I worked for other companies, I'd sit back and I'd watch the mess, and I'd watch the owners of the companies. They would. You want as much control of your job as you can, and when you're subbing out, if you don't have a great relationship with the sub, it's very challenging because sometimes they look at you and go, "Oh, Frank, I don't, even though you're paying me, I run my own business. I got 3 other jobs. I'm not getting to Jackie's house to finish that plumbing today. So, I
know.
You know what I mean?
We lived that.
Right. You want to form a good relationship with. So, me personally, we do. Let's say for a remodel, we do the demo. My brother is an electrician, who's a huge part of my company, by the way. He's been with me from the beginning. And, without him, things would have been tough early on. And, he's a job foreman now and oversees projects. But he's a licensed electrician. He could wire a skyscraper, legally, insured, everything. So we would do the demo, we do the electrical, we do the insulation, sheetrock. We try to do as much as we can. Now, a few items that I do sub out, like I'm not an HVAC guy, but we have a company who we work with who's really reputable, and, we have a good relationship with them. Plumbing-wise, if it's a small bathroom, we can plumb it. If not, if it's larger and we feel, hey, it's more cost-effective for the customer and us, we have a guy that we bring in who's a licensed plumber to take care of that. So we try to do as much as possible, and the stuff that we do have to sub, which is very minimal, we have great relationships with those guys, and timing is key with everything. You can't have a job sitting for 4 weeks because somebody's tied up somewhere else. And even though I have good relationships with these guys, I still have 2 or 3 other guys in my Rolodex
Backup.
phone. Yeah, you have to.
You have to have backup.
You have to.
So are you licensed? There's a lot of contractors that will not touch the city of Scranton.
Great question. Yes, I'm fully licensed. I got my GC license, Scranton, Wilkes-Barre. I could build a skyscraper, that's the full license there. So yeah, we're fully licensed, fully insured, bonded, and that's a great question. I don't know how much you want me to go into that.
Well, I want to know, how does someone choose a contractor? Because a lot of times it comes down to that lowest bid.
Right.
And so a lot of people know enough to get several bids.
Right.
But it's usually the amount of money, the bottom line, and it's if inflation is impacting all of us.
Yes.
Right? So we're getting hit at the grocery store, at the gas pump, our utility bills.
Everything.
Everything has just gone through the roof. So if somebody wants to do a little bit, enhance their home, of course that matters.
Yeah. I mean, what I would recommend in that case is I would recommend the homeowner doesn't overwhelm themselves, meaning you call 5 to 10 guys, do your research, look at the guys in the area who have a reputable reputation. Call those 3 companies to come out and get the estimate from them. Ask for referrals, ask for pictures. I had customers even ask me, do you mind if we can go to one of your projects you recently finished? Absolutely, because 95% of the customers we become close friends with by the time we're done with the project. So, I could call them up and they could say, yeah, Frank, bring Jackie over. She could check out the kitchen. She could check out the whole house, We've just done it we're doing a kitchen in Clark Summit now, and a project we just finished. He requested to come check out a floor that he saw on our Facebook post. He says, do you mind if I see that in person? And I said, absolutely not. I says, let me call the customer and we'll schedule a time to meet you over there and see. And we did. So, that goes a long way, but you want to do your research. When I'm it's almost like a natural sales pitch for me. When I'm selling a job, I look at the customer and go, Google me, Facebook me, do your research on me. You have to, because you're investing this money into your home and you're spending all this money on a project. You want to make sure the people who are in your home are covered with workman's comp, insurance, know what they're doing, because God forbid something happens and they're not covered. That's just the whole mess. You know what I mean?
Just last month, there was a headline that kept coming over my computer about some lady, an elderly woman, up in the Mid-Valley area, and the contractor was sentenced to jail because he took her money and never went back. Unreal. So it's like you have to worry about that.
Yeah, I mean, and the way you structure payments, I mean, there's some sites I'm on, like contractor sites, where people in different states, some states have different laws than others, where they only recommend that a contractor takes so much money up front and at the end. Generally here, how I've always been doing it is usually in thirds. And like I said, sometimes that depends on the size of the project. If you have a guy putting in a screen door or something and, it's $1,000, he may need most of that money up front, which is going to be for material, and then the last payment at the end. But if you're doing a kitchen remodel where, you're $50,000, $60,000 plus, that should be split up. And contracts are very important. You want to look at the contract with the contractor and sit down with him, make sure he has the same copy as you and read it before you sign it, and make sure, okay, so you don't get your next draw till X, Y, and Z is done. And, just make sure.
Have it out in writing.
Have it in writing, yes.
All right.
In writing.
Good advice. Frankie Rudis, CEO, owner of Rudis Enterprises. How does someone get in touch with you, please?
You can contact us at 570-591-2453 is the direct line to the office. Or you could visit us at rudisenterprise.com. Or you can find us on Facebook at Rudis Enterprise.
And you have pictures galore.
We got pictures galore. If
Good.
Anybody wants to schedule an appointment for something, for an estimate, contact us there. And Amanda, she also helps run that end of the business, so she'll get back to them and schedule a time for me to come out there. And I go out.
Do you bid all the projects?
I bid all the projects.
Excellent.
I go out. Yes.
All right. Pat, would you like to review a listing?
Yes. We have a 6-bedroom, 2-bath home at 412 Hudson Street in Mayfield for $159,000. This lovely home sits on a flat 60 by 150-foot lot, and it has low taxes of less than $2,000 a year. This home, it also has a small apartment inside the building, and that can easily be converted back into the single-family home. Recent improvements include a new gas furnace, new water heater, updated electric, vinyl replacement windows, Trex-covered front porch, and a newer eat-in kitchen. It also has a fenced-in yard, plenty of off-street parking, and a large garage. That's a 6-bedroom, 2-bath home with a garage at 412 Hudson Street in Mayfield for $159,000, and that's listed by Nicole Clark of our office.
Thank you, Pat. I'd like to take a moment to thank our sponsor, Lori Ligorio of Caring Transitions. You have a specialty, and so does Caring Transitions. Their experts help families in times of transition and relocation. Their services help eliminate the clutter so you can do what you do best, sell the home. Whether it's organizing and packing homes full of possessions, managing clutter, cleanouts, donations, and liquidating saleable items, let Caring Transitions help remove the barriers and assist in getting the house sold. Call Lori Ligorio of Caring Transitions for a free consultation, 570-280-2516, or visit caringtransitionscranton.com. It's time for a quick break. We will be back in just a few moments with more Real Estate Roundtable with Century 21 Jack Ready Real Estate on 94.3 FM The Talker. When considering to sell or buy a home, why choose Century 21 Jack Ready Real Estate? Let me tell you why. 70% of home buyers settle for the first agent they meet, and many regret it. 90% of home sellers hire an agent, but was it the right choice? Don't have agent remorse. I'm Jackie Ruddy, and I've been in and around the real estate business for most of my life. And at Century 21 Jack Ready Real Estate, we've been selling real estate for half a century. But we do not do it halfway. You deserve better than average. Average doesn't help you. We know it's all about you and what you need. Century 21 is the #1 in brand awareness, is the most recognized name in real estate, and is the most respected in the industry. In this market, if you dream big, you need to move fast. So it makes perfect sense to contact Century 21 Jack Ready Real Estate, 570-344-6724, and visit jready.com. That's JRUDDY.com. Welcome back to the Real Estate Roundtable with Century 21 Jack Ready Real Estate on 94.3 FM The Talker. I'm Jackie Ruddy, broker, and with Pat Devaney, my husband, fellow realtor.
And we're back.
We are back with Frankie Rudis, CEO, owner of Rudis Enterprises.
Hello.
Thanks for being here with us.
Thank you.
Go ahead. Yes,
you go ahead.
please.
I have a question for you.
Maybe I have an answer.
I think you do. Now, how would I know if somebody is a shaky or a questionable contractor? What if they come knocking on my door and say, "Listen, I can do this for you"? What do you think?
I mean, that's you want to do your research. So you want to question them first of all. What's your company? Are you insured? Where do you have a website? Ask them the typical questions. Do your research. But some of the important stuff is, you could ask them, do you have an HIC number?
HIC?
HIC.
What is that?
Home improvement contractor.
Okay.
They would typically register with the city of Scranton, and it gives them a number for the state of Pennsylvania, saying that they're an okay contractor.
A legitimate.
Yeah, that they haven't been arrested for anything or they have a clean record. So that's all that really says. Now, if you're getting a much larger scale project done, then there's a next level license, it's like a home construction license, I believe it's called. Maybe called something a little bit different. And then there's the GC, where the GC is general contractor license, where you have to test for, you have to pass the test, you get your license number, and you can give that to your customers every time you go. They could verify that you're licensed. So the license below the GC basically allows you to do decks, garages, stuff like that. You need your GC when it's more invasive, as far as maybe triple, like tri-units, multi-units above 2 units. You need a GC to do work in those, or commercial units. But that's what you got to look into.
All right. So just because I have a HIC license, anybody can pretty much get one of those? You don't have to really have any qualifications?
No. I mean, as long as you don't have a bad background and you file for it with the state of Pennsylvania, the Attorney General, will typically give it to you. It costs $50 to get.
Okay.
And that's what you'll get. So a lot of homeowners get confused, when some contractors go, "Oh yeah, I'm licensed." You have an HIC number. That doesn't mean you're licensed to build and you're skilled enough to build. You want to make sure they have one of the other 2 licenses, either the GC or like I said, I can't recall off the top of my head what it's called anymore with the city, but it's a license below the GC that allows you to do most typical stuff for homeowners: decks, siding, roofs, garages, stuff like that.
Right.
And then you got the next level after that.
So if somebody comes knocking on my door, somebody solicits me to do work, that's usually a big red flag?
I would say it's a red flag. I mean, it's not uncommon for people to be hungry and go door to door and try to market themselves when they're starting off. So you can't always look down on somebody for doing that. You just got to do your homework.
Oh,
you know what I mean? That's what's very important. And I tell people, these phones that you have, pick up your phone, Google their name, Google their so-called business. Now, if they're just starting out, they may not have a very big following. They may not have a lot of pictures. And this doesn't mean they're a bad person. It just means you need to learn how to limit your liability if you choose to hire this person. You know what I mean? Like,
get referrals.
Get referrals. Yes, maybe that's what I'd ask them for. Do you have referrals from some work that you've done? Some pictures I can look at, and there's always way around it for people who are dishonest. You know, they could be screenshotting pictures off Google and saying, here, yeah, look at a kitchen I did. You know, so you want to try to verify as much stuff as you can. You know, that's true. That this person
is being a part of like a Better Business Bureau something
that's always a plus.
All
yeah,
right.
being a part of the Better.
Because I find that a lot of people say that.
Yeah.
You know, or have that on their website.
Right.
So, 11% of homeowners are putting off home improvement projects, and they're citing inflation and that they can't afford it. The majority of the people say that they put it on the back burner for those reasons. Some say it's because of a lack of products and materials, and some say they haven't found the right professional. And despite these challenges, there are homeowners that still plan on moving ahead with renovation projects. Bathrooms and kitchens remain the most popular. Would you agree with that?
100%.
Okay. Some aspects of the projects may be DIY. Do you recommend that?
It depends.
It depends. It does depend.
Do it yourself.
Right. I mean, you know, it's completely understandable for, you know, people to want to save some money and sometimes just have that sense of pride that, hey, look what we did. You know, we laid our own tile. But, you know, if that's not your thing and that's not what you know how to do.
But I watched a YouTube video on it.
Yeah, we get that a lot. We get you know sometimes we get certain homeowners, you know, that we will be doing something and they, hey, you know, I was watching YouTube last night and I saw, you know, this guy did it this way, and you know, we try to be as professional as we can with responding to them, and you know, you may look at 5 different people may do something 5 different ways. The main thing is you want to make sure it's done the right way, but their process may be different. So the DIY, and I mean, it's not bad for little stuff, but I wouldn't recommend it for anything like, you know, where you're going to spend money, like a lot of money on material, like tile or.
Don't you like going in and undoing somebody's stuff?
Yeah, what's your biggest nightmare?
Isn't that always
when the
like,
homeowner does a project or when another so-called contractor
Yeah,
does it?
I would say the biggest nightmare is when another contractor does it. I mean, when you go into a house, when a prospective client calls you and you show up at their house, and let's use a kitchen again, and they hired somebody to come in and do a kitchen, and you get there and then you start learning a story. They start telling you, we hired so-and-so, and I mean, it's really crazy. And that's why I can't stress enough to really want to educate homeowners on really doing their homework and hiring people who are licensed and insured, because it is disgusting to walk into a house where they want their dream kitchen done, and they spent all this money. They gave this guy all this money. They put their trust into him, and it's ransacked. I mean, you got cabinets that are broke, no Durarock down. You know, they're laying tile over plywood. I mean, it's. I could go on and on. Trim work where the miters are separated, crown molding that's scratched and destroyed. Electrical sticking out of the walls. I mean, safety issues. I mean, that's a whole other show. You can talk about safety. And some of these guys just, you know, they don't care. And then just the simple things, you know, as of taking care of a customer's house with making sure you plastic off doorways, making sure you clean up every day, because that's the biggest thing. When you hire a contractor, you're used to coming home every day and you're used to living a certain way. Now you're coming home every day. You got guys in your house you don't know. You know, your house is dusty. It's going to happen. I tell all the customers, I say, we try to contain as much as we can, but we can't contain 100%. And I'm a super nutcase when it comes to vacuuming and plasticking up. Any one of my guys will tell you that. But that's the least I feel I can do to at least help that customer get through the process of a renovation, you know, as well as explaining to them things as much as we can. I mean, I would say all my clients every day, I talk to all my clients at least once a day minimum, on questions they may have, how the guy's making out. Is there anything that you need us to do different, just to, you know, help them through? Because it's a big thing. You know, they're coming home and things
Their
are
world is upside down.
Yeah, absolutely.
Frankie Rudis, owner and CEO of Rudis Enterprises. How does someone get in touch with you?
570-591-2453 or rudisenterprise.com. And then you could also find us on Facebook at Rudis Enterprise Construction Services.
Thank you so much. We're out of time. Thanks, everybody, for tuning
you.
in. And Frankie, would you come back next week?
Absolutely.
We're here every Saturday at 11 a.m., Sunday at 11:30 a.m. on the Real Estate Roundtable with Century 21 Jack Ready Real Estate on 94.3 FM The Talker.